History remembers few names with the same raw venom as Lü Zhi. She wasn't a warrior queen who marched at the head of armies. She wasn't born with a crown on her head. Yet she clawed her way to power through blood, manipulation, and terror. And at the height of her rule, she did something so grotesque, so cruel, that even in a world used to executions and torture, it stood out as monstrous. She took a rival, her dead husband's favorite concubine, cut off her limbs, gouged out her eyes, and tossed her into a pigsty, calling her human swine. And that was just one act of many. Before she was a tyrant, before she ruled China as regent, Lü Zhi was a girl born into a world of chaos. But something in her never settled for obedience. She would grow up to become China's first empress, by wit, by will, and by ruthlessness. Lü Zhi was born around 241 BCE in Shanfu County, Shanxi Province. Her father, Lu Wen, was a minor official under the Qin Dynasty. Their family wasn't rich, and they weren't noble. They were part of the bureaucratic underclass that kept the machinery of the empire running. But Lü Zhi wasn't content to live quietly in the shadows of power. Even as a child, she was drawn to its heat. The China of her youth was fragmented. The Warring States period had bled the land dry, with kingdoms constantly fighting for supremacy. The Qin Dynasty emerged from this chaos and imposed order. Brutally, laws were harsh, punishments were severe. Surveillance and fear kept people in line. In this hard world, Lü Zhi developed hard edges. She watched, listened, and learned. Her father, despite his low rank, believed in education and discipline. He ensured that his daughter learned to read and write, a rarity for girls at the time. Lü Zhi proved quick-witted and observant. She read history, legal codes, and political texts. She understood early that intelligence mattered, but it wasn't enough. To win in this world, you needed to be strategic. Her education went beyond books. She absorbed lessons from court politics, family affairs, and the ambitions of men around her. Her father's experiences as a bureaucrat gave her access to internal documents, petitions, and policy debates. Lü Zhi learned how bureaucracy could be a weapon, slow, deliberate, and lethal. Fate introduced her to Liu Bang, a man with big dreams and no noble blood. He was crude, charming, ambitious, a former peasant turned rebel leader. When he met Lü Zhi, she was already known for her poise and seriousness. Their personalities couldn't have been more different, yet their union was politically astute. Her father saw potential in Liu Bang and offered his daughter's hand in marriage. For Lü Zhi, this wasn't surrender, it was a calculated alliance. Liu Bang gave her a path to power, and she gave him legitimacy. While he campaigned and fought, she managed their household, bore children, and maintained alliances. She gave birth to Liu Ying, their son and future emperor, and secured her position. As Liu Bang became more involved in rebellions against the Qin, Lü Zhi managed the logistics and safety of their camp and family. She ensured their son was kept safe from political retaliation. During one campaign, she was captured by a rival warlord, but was released due to Liu Bang's negotiations. Her resilience and composure during this episode further cemented her value in her husband's eyes. In 202 BCE, when Liu Bang declared himself Emperor Gaozu of the new Han Dynasty, Lü Zhi became Empress. But Empress was just a title. The real power struggle was just beginning. She was a queen consort in a man's world, but she had no intention of staying in the background. Emperor Gaozu died in 195 BCE, leaving the empire and its future in flux. His favorite concubine, Consort Qi, had her own son, Liu Ruyi, whom she wanted to place on the throne. Lü Zhi acted swiftly to ensure her son, Liu Ying, Emperor Hui, was crowned. But Liu Ying was weak, indecisive, and traumatized by court intrigue. Lü Zhi saw her chance. She assumed the role of regent, ruling in his name but wielding actual power. Her first target was Consort Qi. What followed is one of the darkest chapters in Imperial Chinese history. Lü Zhi didn't just kill her rival, she destroyed her. She had Consort Qi imprisoned, then mutilated, limbs cut off, eyes gouged, ears removed, tongue torn out. The empress then had her thrown into a pigsty. She named her Ren Zhu, human swine. She made sure the court knew and even forced her own son to look upon what remained of the woman. The emotional toll broke Emperor Hui. He reportedly wept, saying, "This is not something a human can do." He withdrew from ruling, leaving the empire entirely in Lü Zhi's hands. She solidified her hold by filling court positions with her relatives from the Lü clan. Generals, ministers, governors, many were now Lü Zhi's hand-picked loyalists. She turned the imperial court into a fortress of family loyalty. Those who questioned her decisions disappeared or were forced into retirement. She also managed military logistics and appointed frontier generals loyal to her regime. She manipulated land grants, marriages, and diplomatic ties to ensure her grip on power remained unchallenged. Her spies operated in every provincial capital. Even after Emperor Hui's death in 188 BCE, Lü Zhi retained control. She placed infant emperors on the throne, all with royal Lü blood, but too young to rule. Behind the scenes, she made every major decision. Foreign policy, military appointments, taxation, nothing escaped her grasp. Her administration was harsh but effective. She stabilized the economy and ensured that rebellious territories were kept in line. But she ruled through fear. Her enemies feared more than death. They feared the humiliation and cruelty she was capable of inflicting. Her regime maintained stability through brutal efficiency. Records were meticulously kept, taxes rigorously collected, and laws ruthlessly enforced. She codified imperial authority and restructured the bureaucracy to dilute the power of opposing factions. Despite the bloodshed, the empire remained intact. She wanted to create a legacy not just of order, but of supremacy. Some historians believe she intended to crown one of her Lü relatives as emperor, effectively creating a new dynasty. Her last moves suggest a plan to erase the Lü lineage entirely. The emperor she installed, Liu Gong, was effectively a puppet, unable to challenge her dominance. But fate would not allow it. Lü Zhi died in 180 BCE, possibly from illness. Her body was weak, but her mind had remained sharp until the end. She died thinking she had secured her family's dominance. She had placed a boy emperor on the throne, one she could control through her trusted clan. But her death changed everything. Within days, the Lü family struck back. Lü Bang's remaining sons, allied with loyalist generals and ministers, launched a coordinated purge of the Lü clan. One by one, Lü Zhi's relatives were arrested, executed, and erased from official records. Their heads were displayed on pikes in the capital. Her nephew, who had been groomed as her potential successor, was among the first to fall. The boy emperor she had installed was deposed. In his place, Lü Heng, another of Lü Bang's sons, was declared Emperor Wen. He restored the Lü family's hold on power and vowed never to allow one clan to dominate the court again. Lü Zhi's legacy was sealed in horror. Later historians, especially under the influence of Confucian moralism, painted her as the ultimate warning against female political ambition. Her acts were recorded in gory detail, particularly the mutilation of Consort Qi. Scholars, playwrights, and moralists used her story to teach generations about the dangers of power untempered by virtue. But that same legacy made her unforgettable. She was China's first woman to rule an empire in all but name. She ran a state, crushed rebellions, and shaped policy at the highest level. She did it without a throne, without a crown, and without mercy. Her rule was brief, but it shook the foundations of the Han Dynasty and reshaped its future. In legal reforms, she reinforced the Han Dynasty's centralized control, laying groundwork for future rulers. In court customs, her precedent of empress dowagers exercising regency would echo for centuries. She had redrawn the blueprint of power for women. She proved that a woman could rule, but she left behind the warning, at what cost? In the end, Lü Zhi became more than an empress. She became a symbol of ambition, of vengeance, of the thin line between order and horror. Her reign showed the terrifying power of the human will when it is freed from limits. She outmaneuvered enemies, built a political machine, and bent the court to her will. But in choosing fear over justice, cruelty over wisdom, she ensured that her story would not be one of admiration, but of dread. And so, her name endures, whispered in caution, studied in horror, not for what she built, but for what she destroyed. Because once, in the heart of the Han Dynasty, there ruled a woman who turned another human into a swine and dared the world to stop her. If this story sparked something in you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a tale born of flame.